Athletes, welcome back. I've got my calming voice on because we're doing our cool down right now. I always say the elite level athletes are the ones that have shown up afterwards, and that is you. So we are gonna go ahead and get into our cool down stretches, mobility that we have. Because I always say this, you run your body hard in the workout, so we've gotta make sure that we're taking care of it so that we don't start to fall apart. So we're gonna get into our cool down right now. So we're looking at our athletes getting down on all fours. We're gonna go into a child's pose first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have both athletes drop their hips back towards their heels, arms are stretched out in front of their body, and then they're just gonna let that face relax down towards the floor. In this position, we're focused on taking a nice deep breath in, a nice deep breath out, nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. As you breathe out, try to sink lower into that stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. And slowly come out of this position back to all fours. I want you guys to take your left leg and put it forward in a lunge position. And now we're gonna take that leg and drop it across our body into a pigeon pose. So in this position, we have two things that we can do. We can either try to get that shin parallel to our body, or we can let that heel come back a little bit closer. Depending on how tight your hips are, that's gonna dictate where you're gonna be at. A hip that's gonna be more mobile is gonna allow you to bring that leg more in front of you, straight across. So athletes are gonna stay in this position, focused on where their belly button is going, because anybody can get in a pigeon pose and drop their chest to the floor. All right, that's not that impressive, and you're not getting the best out of the stretch you can. So if you notice what Alex is doing is that he's shifting back and forth, taking that belly button towards his knee, and then taking that belly button towards his heel. Athletes are gonna stay in this for another 5, 3, 2, 1, and then they're gonna switch sides for me, and we're gonna get into our pigeon pose on the opposite leg. The same thing here. Now, one thing that I can tell you is that if I have something that I can place underneath Alex's hip, bear with me for just one moment, stay on them. And I go into my toolbox, I grab some ab mats, I'm gonna take this, drop it underneath Alex's hip, and that's gonna allow him to get into a little bit of a better position. So if you're doing pigeon pose and you got the tightest hips in the world, put something underneath that so it's gonna allow you to relax more into this position. 3, 2, 1, athletes are gonna go ahead and slowly come out of this position. We're gonna stand up, and now we're gonna face our dumbbell. Now we're using a dumbbell because we don't have a wall that's immediately close by. So what they're gonna do here is they're gonna take the ball of their foot with shoes on, don't do this barefoot, and we're gonna think about a line coming straight up from the dumbbell. Alex is gonna try to bring his hip, not his knee, towards that line first, and then back. And then hip forward and back. Same thing with Summer over here. Now I'm gonna have the athletes try to bend those knees towards that line, and back, and forward, and back, and one more, and then switch sides for me. And we're gonna do the same thing, trying to drive that hip towards that line. If you guys have a wall at home that you can put your foot on, that's what you're gonna use. If you have a rig at home, you can use that as well. When we're pushing our hip forward, it biases higher up in our calf. When we're pushing our knee forward, it biases lower in our calf. So you guys can kind of go with what position feels tighter on you. We got 5, 3, 2, 1, and that is it for today. So again, I cannot express the gratitude that we have that you showed up today. We hope to see you every single day, jumping in on everything that we have to offer with the Mayhem Athlete community. So thank you again, be a great person, and we will see you next time.